As most of you are probably aware, a prominent member of the online brony community, ToonKriticY2K, has recently been revealed as a pedophile and an abuser. This first came out when a 14-year-old girl came forward with information that he had manipulated her and coerced her into engaging in sexual role plays online. Since then, other victims have come forward with stories of how he manipulated and used them, sometimes online and sometimes in person. When the young victim first came forward, he was confronted by some other bronialists in a Skype call. He did not deny his actions. Rather, he confessed in full and simply tried to brush it off as a mistake on his part. They gave him a period of 24 hours to turn himself in, after which they turned the evidence over to the police themselves. All information is now in the hands of the authorities. There are many pages of screen caps which have been leaked to the public, which irrefutably confirm that the allegations against him are true. Many people in our community feel hurt, shaken, and betrayed by his actions. There have already been many statements released, both from his former friends and his victims. I debated with myself briefly over whether I should release a statement, as I am not close to the situation. Then I decided that it might be good for me to do so, as someone who is far enough removed to be less emotional. I did not know Toon personally. I was a subscriber to his channel and an admirer of his work. I watched most of his videos and really enjoyed his content. I did meet him in person once. When I went to PonyCon NYC, he was acting as a host or an MC or something like that. I watched a panel that he hosted with a bunch of other bronialists where they aired an episode of TF2. There was a table where Dr. Wolf and Silverquill were selling merch, and I got to meet all three of them: Dr. Wolf, Silverquill, and ToonKritic. I bought a print, and they all autographed it. Toon asked me about my OC and what I did online. He said he would check out my content. In the days and weeks that followed, I never heard anything from him. At the time, I was disappointed, but not really bothered. Promising to check out people's content may have just been something he said to fans without really meaning to follow up. As you can probably guess, I am now profoundly grateful that I never heard anything more from him. Now, when I think back on it, I wonder if he was sizing me up as a possible victim as he talked to me. Toon's actions were criminal, disgusting, reprehensible, and indecent in the most extreme sense of the word. He has deeply hurt many people. He has hurt the entire brony community, everyone who has been a fan of his work, who looked up to him, who worked with him. Just the other day, I went onto another reviewer's channel, pulled up an old collab they had done with him, and tried to watch it. I couldn't. As soon as he started talking, I felt sick to my stomach. He has hurt his family and his friends/former friends. I can't imagine how it must feel to find out that your son or your friend has committed such a terrible crime. I can't think of what it must be like for people who would hang out with him, work with him, who thought they knew him. Most of all, most important of all, he has hurt his victims. He has hurt many girls and young women. He has manipulated, coerced, and abused them. He has played mind games, played on their insecurities, indoctrinated, and then discarded them when they were no longer of use. In some cases, this was confined to online interactions. In others, he actually groped and had sexual relations with people at cons. The stories that I have listened to from victims who have come forward are heartbreaking. My deepest wish right now is that they will all heal quickly and find support from true friends. At this time, emotions are running very high. Some people met the news with denial, unable to believe that someone they looked up to has done something so repulsive. However, based on the proof that has come forward, there can be no denial. The concrete evidence of inappropriate chats is overwhelming. There are screen caps where you can read his own words as he said inappropriate things and solicited nude photos of his victims. Most damning, he admitted himself that he was guilty. Some people are overwhelmed with anger. Many have already lashed out with hatred and vitriol. In the absence of Toon himself to confront, some people have harassed his mother and accused his former friends of covering up his crimes. While the anger is understandable, please remember that his family and friends are, in a way, victims as well. Expressing anger with cruelty only leads to more pain. And of course, many people feel hurt, shocked, betrayed, and disgusted. Whether they knew him personally and were deceived by him, or whether, like me, they only knew him by reputation and admired his work. His horrific actions have tainted our community. It is natural right now to feel all these negative emotions. It is healthy even. We will all need time to come to grips with it and to heal. Those of us on the periphery who were not close to the people involved will move on the quickest. It will take longer for his former friends and his victims. This will continue to be a painful and turbulent time. Please remember that it is okay to be angry. It is okay to be hurt. It is okay to be conflicted and confused and not know how to feel. If you thought he was your friend and you cared about him, it is okay to be conflicted over whether you should or do still care about him. Feeling hurt and confused is not weak. It is human. And in time, we will heal. Those whom he hurt will get better. Those whom he wronged will be able to move on with their lives and let go of the past. Now is a bad time, but things will get better. And as we move forward, let us work to make our community safer and more trustworthy than it was before. Let us be vigilant in watching for red flags of a manipulative or abusive personality. Many of his friends and victims have said that the red flags were there, but they didn't recognize them at the time. Let us, the adult members of the community, never forget that there are children among us, and let us look out for them and protect them. If you have been hurt by an abuser, then I am sending you all my good thoughts and wishes for healing. There are bad people in this world who want to use and hurt others, but I truly believe that there are many more good people, and we can support each other to move forward.